Good morning, Pet Eat. 4101 at 4102, may clear and audible po. Clear po ang ating audio. Hindi wala naman pong interference. Okay, thank you. Okay, so before we proceed with our discussion proper, kindly open muna your camera. And while you are opening your camera, I'll be sharing muna my screen. I'll be opening one of the PowerPoint will be used for our discussion for a while. Kindly inform me if visible na po siya on your end. Visible na po siya. Okay, thank you. Open po ako ng camera before tayo mag-start ng discussion. Before we initiate the discussion proper. So doon sa mga wala pa, kindly inform them, no? Para ma-admit ko na sila before tayo makalalim sa discussion. Baka kasi tayo nasa kalagitan ng discussion eh. Saka sila mag-join. Okay. So for today, we'll be discussing directional drilling as part of our course, drilling engineering. So basically, directional drilling is one of the method that is being used in uh, the field or in the oil and gas field kasi some of which yung applications po niya later on we'll be discussing kung bakit siya mahalaga. So last time during the discussion of our syllabus, I have mentioned some applications and bakit natin ginagawa itong directional drilling. Can someone from the group recall some of these applications that we had discussed last time? Any idea about directional drilling? At what particular condition natin siya ina-apply and bakit siya mahalaga? Anyone? An idea po about the application of directional drilling? Bakit mahalaga siya in the oil and gas industry? No, generally speaking, directional drilling is a method of drilling a particular reservoir. So since it is a method or it is a strategy, it is more of for applications of economic viability or para magkaroon tayo ng mas mataas na economic value for our product, yung ating extract na oil. So yun yung one of the main reason or one of the main general reason. It is more of in terms of inside of the economic side, in terms of the economic side. No? So by definition, directional drilling daw po. Let's define first drilling in kumbaga in order for us to have a more specified knowledge about directional drilling. Drilling daw po is the art of making a hole in the Mother Earth to penetrate to a definite subsurface location. In most cases, wells daw po are accomplished by drilling a reasonably straight or vertical hole. So, yun yung ating default knowledge when it comes to drilling. It's more of straight and vertical lang siya. However, there are different or several types of wells. So, the first type is yung tinatawag nating vertical well. So, pag sinabing vertical well, where is it? Ano yung aking Pala. Pag sinabing vertical well, so there is a maintained with few degrees of vertical and no attention is paid to the direction of the deviation. So technically, literal na vertical lang po siya. Ano? So yung sa straight hole, yung pinagkaiba niya with straight hole, somehow there is deviation or nagkakaroon ng deviation but it is not sharp. No? So there's no sharp deviation in terms of the degree that we are to consider. Then also we have the third one which is yung directional well nga. So directional well is deviated from the vertical and direction is controlled to a predetermined location. Okay? So directional drilling as given here by definition is defined daw po as an art in science involving deflection of a well bore to specify direction in order to reach a predetermined object below the surface of the earth. So what is ano yung tinutukoy ditong predetermined object? So it is more of doon sa reservoir kung saan naglalay doon sa ating formation yung mga hydrocarbons. So we are targeting that particular location or yung particular object na yun. So yun naman kasi yung target natin, na-extract yung mga hydrocarbons from that location. Okay, so directional drilling is one of the way in order for us to extract these types of resources. Okay, so before we proceed deeply in terms of directional drilling, let us first differentiate MD or the measured depth with TVD or the true vertical depth. So as you can see, there is this figure here. Kumbaga nakikita na dyan yung main difference between the two. So the measured depth is you measure the whole well. Let's say this is a directional well or the deviated well as our example. As you can see, the measured depth is greater than the true vertical depth. And it is always at all cases. It is greater than or equal. Yun lang yun. Kapag equal yung TVD and measured depth, meaning it is a vertical well. Nagigets po? Kasi syempre, equal lang yung measured depth natin and yung ating TVD. But when the measured depth is meron na siyang lamang or greater than na po siya with our TVD or the true vertical depth, it is already considered as a deviated or directional well. No. So as you can notice here, sa paglaki ng deviation, let's say, sa paglaki ng deviation or sa paglaki ng inclination, ang nangyayari is mas malaki yung nagiging difference between the two, the measured depth and the true vertical depth. Okay, so let us define first inclination. Inclination daw po is the angle in degrees. So yung kanya pong unit is degree between the local vertical or yung ating local gravity vector as indicated by a plumb bob and the tangent to the well bore axis at a particular point. Okay? So by oil field convention, yung sa mga vertical well, yung kanyang inclination is 0 degrees. For deviated well or yung horizontal well specifically, hindi pala tayo makapag dito. I'll be resharing pala. Hindi pala naka-enable yung ating editing. Para tayo makapag-draw. May share my screen. Sa direction na sa Excel. Okay. So, pag sinabi kasi nating vertical yung ating nagato naka-grid. Loko. Walang pasok sa Monday. Pag sinabi nating vertical yung ating well, ibig sabihin literal na vertical lang siya. So, yung kaniyang imagine nyo lang straight niya. Yung kaniyang inclination is 0 degrees. So, that is from the vertical axis. So, kapag naman horizontal, let's say, ganito yung itsura niya. Literal horizontal. So, yung inclination niya, by that is 90 degrees. Kaya yung So your inclination is vary from 0 to 90 depending on the type of our well. Next, we have here to define the azimuth. No, so azimuth by whole direction. So azimuth daw po is the point wherein yung direction daw po of the borehole on a horizontal plane measured as a clockwise angle from the north reference. So this is more of from the true north. Okay. So let's say we have here this one. So we have the coordinate plane. This is the north, the true north. This is the east. This is the west. This is the west. And this is the south. So yung pag-measure po natin is it is based on clockwise direction. So let's say yung ating well is pointing to this one. So yung azimuth po niya is 90 degrees from plus this angle. Okay? Kasi we account for all the angle from the true north or the magnetic north. Okay? So ano yung pinagkaiba niya with inclination? So let's say we have this example here. Yung inclination po natin for this example, let's say this is inclined as sabihin natin yung inclination niya is ano kasi na may measure siya from here. This is the true vertical, ito siya. Ito yung inclination natin. Let's say the inclination of this one is 30 degrees. No? So 30 degrees na inclination niya, but the azimuth, let's say it is pointing to this point. You imagine this one as a 3D or three-dimensional figure. Let's say this is pointing to this point and yung azimuth po niya is somewhere in between east and south. So it's technically ranging from 90 to 180 degrees. Nagets po yung difference between the two. The inclination and the azimuth. Nagets po yon. Yung inclination, it is based on the vertical axis. The azimuth is based on the north or the true north or the magnetic north. So all magnetic norths daw po give readings preferred to magnetic north. However, the final calculated coordinates are reference to either true north or the grid north. Yun yung other term for the true north. Okay, so we have different types or three types of well profiles. No, so it is described by three letters. We have the L, J, and S. No, so by the letter itself, you can already identify ano yung pinagkaiba-iba ng tatlo and how it is different with one another. Okay, so let's have a differentiation between these three. So we have first the L. Hmm. Yung L po natin is called also as the type 1 or the build and hold. No? So this is the most common and the simplest profile for a directional well. Yung well daw po natin is drilled down vertically up to the kick-off point. So this is the kick-off point. Kick-off point is literally where the building of our section start. The building of our well start. What do I mean by building? Doon tayo nag-build ng deviation. Okay? So that is the kick-off point. That is the topmost portion of the build section. Naintindihan po iyon. So where the well is deviated the required inclination and further maintained to target. So yung shallow KOP or the kick-off point is selected to reduce the inclination, no? So syempre pag mababaw yung mababaw yung kick-off point, meaning let's say hanggang dito lang siya. Yung ating deviation daw po is inclination is reduced. So this profile can be applied where large displacement are required at relatively shallow target depths. Under normal condition, yung ating daw pong inclination must range from 15 to 55 degrees lang. Okay? So kaya siya tinawag na build and hold. At this point, the kick-off point, nag-start po tayo mag-build. Then, ang tinatawag na hold, di mag-type. Ano yung delay? Ulit. Saglit lang. Erase natin. Hindi siya ito type. Let's say, yan. Di pa rin ko control si dito. So we have here the build. Pag sinabi namang hold, at this point, this is the top of the slant, yung tinatawag na magkakaroon na tayo ng slant wherein we have to hold the well. Pag sinabing hold, another straight line, however, it's already inclinated at particular inclination or may value na po siya na inclination. Nagigets po? Nagigets po yun. Kaya siya tinawag na build and hold. Nag-build tayo, then nagkaroon tayo ng hold. Kasi kapag yan i-drill natin, hold natin yung kanyang angle. District. Nagets po yung sa type 1. Guys, wala nang mga naka-open ng camera. Dalawa na lang naka-open. Yung isa ay wala pang muka. Okay, let's proceed with type 2. Sa type 2 naman, that is called naman the build, hold, and drop. So that is technically the S type. No? So as you can notice here, din sa una yung L. Ba't tayo mag-ano? Nag-ano siya, naglalag siya. Tamo, iba na sa inyo, sa akin hindi pa. Yan. So dito sa L, more of, di naman siya mukhang L, pero technically yung kanyang geometry somehow related to L. For this point, yung sa S, more of mukha na siyang S, no? Kasi nagkaroon tayo ng build section here. I-laser point na nga lang din natin. We have a build section here. So this is technically the kick-off point, the start of the build section. Then we, at some point, we have to hold yung ating well. So once na ma-achieve na natin yung inclination required based on the drilling program, kung halimbawa sa drilling program, indicated kasi lagi doon yung inclination ng ating well. So we have to hold it up until magkaroon tayo ng another hanging. So it is more of nagde-deviate ulit tayo. However, we just di naman maintain, we just bring it back to its original na siya ay vertical, no? So nagkakaroon tayo dito ng drop section, or yung green part is the drop section. Okay? So the top of the drop is technically when you start to deviate again the well, no? So as you can notice here, this particular type of well, ginagamit po siya, let's say at this part here, merong kumbaga merong tawag dito, merong hard formation and you can't afford to drill it kasi yung halimbawa yung ating bit na ginamit is not designed for hard formation. So yun yung isang application niya. Another application, syempre, later on we'll be discussing yung mga applications niya. So may kanya-kanya naman po siyang gamit, no? So this profile po is somehow similar with type L or type 1 up to tangential section. So this is up pertaining to this one. After that, the profile enters in a drop-off section where inclination is reduced. So nire-reduce natin again yung inclination, binabalik natin siya sa original. Kung siya i-vertical mo ulit, yung i-reduce ulit natin yung inclination po niya. And in some cases daw po, becomes vertical as it reaches the target. So, yung ina-expect natin dito would be more torque and drag. So, due to this additional bending. So, this is used when the target is deep but horizontal displacement is relatively small. No? So, malalim siya pero in terms of horizontal displacement, maliit lang siya. Okay, so yung horizontal displacement is pertaining to the change in this x. If you are to have an analogy here of the x and y coordinate, the x, we are pertaining to the x component. Okay, so it has also application when completing a well that intersects multiple producing zones. So this is pertaining kapag yung ating let's say at this point merong reservoir, at this point may reservoir. So application po niya is Yun nga, yung sa pag meron po tayo multiple producing zone. So drilling of a relief well daw po where it is necessary to run parallel to well. So this is also one of the example yung sa relief well. If are you familiar with the relief well? Are you familiar with the relief well, guys? So relief well is well that is used, let's say, overpressure na yung isang formation. So literal na siya ay pang-relief ng pressure, pang-relief ng pressure in terms of, kumbaga para lang siya let's say in layman's term, mapasingaw man lang yung ating formation. Kaya siya tinawag na relief well. This is applied during, also yung isang application na relief well is during nagkaroon na blowout, no, para hindi na siya mag-cause ng further damage. Then we have the third one, type 3. Sa type 3 naman, it is more of the J type. Pero kung tutuusin, parang baliktad yung itsura ng sa J at sa L. No? Mas mukha tong L kaysa dun sa isa. Pero kasi ang J, mas kasi siya, mas pa ganun. Kung may pabalik siya. Unlike sa L na pa ganun. So, initial deflection daw po is started well below the surface and angle daw po is built up at the bottom. So, nagkakaroon pa rin tayo ng building section. However, it is more of, in terms of the inclination, medyo mataas siya. Now, it is used particularly in situations like salt dome drilling. You're familiar with salt dome. It is a geological structure found in the formation that can be, in terms of its properties, medyo matigas siya. So, you don't, it is unnecessary to drill through it. No? So, yung ginagawa dyan is iniiwasan yung salt dome. So, we also have the fault tracking, side tracking, and also yung repositioning of targets. However, this particular type of well profile has disadvantages. So, first is, yung formation daw po may be harder and less responsive to deflection. Siyempre, yun nga, yung mga example nga yung sa salt dome drilling, fault drilling. Then, in relation to that, yung formation may be harder. Hindi nga sa salt dome, kagaya na banggit ko sa inyo kanina, mabigat, siya. Also in the fault, it is related with fault. Bakit naging matigas yung mga formation along or adjacent with the fault? Kasi it is, kumbaga siya ay more of subjected to compaction. So, mas dense po yung mga formations within the fault. No? And it is applied, however, it is applied with constant stress. Pero, still, yung compaction makes it more harder and more compact. Also, it requires more tripping time to change the bottom hole while deflecting. Kasi nga medyo mataas yung inclination niya. Mahirap siyang hugutin. Tripping out of our BHA or the drill stem or the whole drill stem. Then yung ating BUR daw po is pertaining to build up ratio. 50 seconds, that's the build up ratio. Ratio ba yun niya? The build up ratio is more difficult to control. Okay, so we have here several applications po of directional drilling. So first, we have the multiple wells from a single location. We also have inaccessible locations. Isa-isa na lang natin siya kasi may isa-isa naman siya. Okay. So we have the multiple wells from a single location. Okay. So this is a figure of this particular condition. So kahit hindi ko na siya explain, gets yun na siya. So maraming locations or maraming different, kumbaga nasa iba't ibang location yung ating hydrocarbon. So we use multiple wells wherein yung nature po niya is directional in nature. Then next is inaccessible location. Let's say yung atin pong target is beneath a city or nasa ilalim po siya ng isang city. So technically, ano magiging possible? You have to find the nearest location na possible yung drilling, then you apply directional drilling. Ano? So yan yung mga different types. Alam naman sa gitna ka ng city magtayo ng well. So that is not advisable in terms of the environmental impact as well as yung ano niya, yung impact niya to the society present. So drillings daw po to avoid under this one, this is still under inaccessible location. So drilling to avoid geological problems. The first one is fault drilling. So this eliminates the hazard of drilling a vertical well through steeply inclined fault plane, which could slip and shear the casing. Salt dome drilling. So this is to reach a producing formation which is often within or beneath or adjacent to a salt dome. So yung well daw po kasi natin is kumbaga iniiwas natin siya mismo sa mismong salt dome kasi this salt dome can cause several problems such as washout, low circulation, and corrosion since we know that when the salinity of a particular fluid in contact with our metal equipments or metal pipes or yung ating mismong BHA, it can cause corrosion or it could be knowing that high salinity relates to high corrosiveness. They have side tracking and straightening. So this one is another application of directional drilling. So it is used as a remedial operation either to sidetrack obstruction by deviating the well, bore away from obstruction by deviating the well back to the vertical, or by straightening out crooked hole. So let's say the original track or original well path is this one. So since ito yung nakalagay sa drilling program. But since you have encountered a particular problem with regards to that well path, you decided to have a side tracking. So doon sa side tracking, nagkakaroon tayo ng changes of plan. So technically, one of the application nga of directional drilling is this one, yung side tracking. Then you control daw po yung vertical well for control upon controlling the vertical wells. Let's say we have a original path. So we have to correct yung ating well path and we apply the side tracking and the straightening. So next is hanggang ngayon minapasok pa din. We have the relief well drilling. So for relief well drilling, let's say nagkaroon ng blowout doon sa ating producing well. So technically para magkaroon ng relief in terms of the formation pressure para hindi na siya mag-cause ng further damage or further ignition doon sa blowout. So nagkakaroon po tayo ng relief well para actually for relief well is yung purpose niya is yung main purpose niya talaga is maano na siya. Magkaroon na lang relief, hindi siya mismo ma-retrieve mismo yung ano. Kasi kung magkaroon ka ng retrieving diyan, hindi siya, kikita ka but it is not yet economically viable. So parang yung naging main purpose niya talaga is para lang mitigate yung magiging damage ng ating blowout. Horizontal well. So yung horizontal well po natin may be defined as extension by definition of highly deviated wells drilled in order to situate a drain of considerable length at a precise depth. So yung mga advantages po niya, ma-increase yung drainage area. Paano na-increase niya ang drainage area? Let's say we have a formation or a pay zone that is thick in nature in terms of its thickness or reservoir thickness, medyo mababa siya. Medyo manipis yung ating formation. So yung best way to extract the resources from this is to drill it horizontally. So para in terms of the contact or surface area contact, mataas yung surface area contact with it. Next, ma-prevent daw po yung ating gas coning and water coning problem. So are you familiar with gas and water coning? Pag sinabing coding, nagkakaroon po na or yung, kaya we know that WOC and WOC, uh, let's say this one. This is halimbawa, ito yung ating gas oil contact. Ito yung ating water oil contact. Siyempre, this is the oil, this is the gas, and this is the water. Siyempre, pag halimbawa yung ating formation, we apply the directional drilling. Kasi kung yan ay pag ganito, let's say this is the situation 2, na vertical well siya. For directional well, or I mean yung horizontal well, first one, increase yung drainage area na. In terms of the surface area that is exposed to the pay zone, medyo malaki siya. Compared dito. Next, it prevents gas coning and water coning. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng gas coning and water coning? Pag dito ka kasi nag-drill, when you perforate this one, yung producing zone or yung pay zone niya, nagkakaroon ng possibility ng coning. What is coning? It's pertaining to, let's say, this gas coning. Yung gas, kumbaga, parang sumasapaw siya doon sa part ng water. Ng oil, I mean. Since we know that when comparing the two, gas and oil, we know that gas is more mobile than oil. In terms of the mobility is the ratio of permeability and viscosity. In terms of the mobility, kumbaga mas mabilis gumalaw ang gas compared sa oil. So, tendency, pag nag-perforate ka dyan or nagkaroon ka dyan ng perforation, ang magpuproduce is gas sa halip na oil. So, nagkakaroon ng gas coning, which is a problem. No? Pero sa halip, let's have this horizontal well. Kapag horizontal yung ating well, ano nangyayari? We maximize the drainage area as well as nape-prevent natin yung water and gas coning. Let's say it is exactly at the middle of the gas oil contact and the water oil contact. So, technically, naiwasan natin yung water and gas coning for this one. Nagigets po yung 1 and 2. Yung first two advantages. Okay, third is increased penetration of the producing zone. So this is also pertaining to the drainage area or yung surface area exposed to the pay zone. Then it also increased the efficiency of enhanced oil recovery. So when we say enhanced oil recovery, let's say we have water flooding or siguro yung mga pagpa-flood ng mga chemicals, no? So for enhanced oil. Yung kasi water flooding, it is under secondary, more of improved oil recovery siya. Pero for enhanced oil recovery, yan, let's say yung mga chemical. So nagkakaroon kasi ng tumataas yung sweeping efficiency. What do I mean by sweeping efficiency? Yung pag-move ng mga chemicals na ito para pag-move or kumbaga nadadala niya yung oil para mag-produce siya. So nagkakaroon tayo ng increasing efficiency in terms of EOR. Kasi yung efficiency ng EOR, it is quantitatively measured by the sweeping efficiency. Next, the last advantage naman po is to improve yung productivity in fractured reservoir by intersecting a number of vertical fracture. So that is somehow related to this figure here. No. So yung more of kapag mataas yung kanyang drainage area, mataas yung penetration in terms of its efficiency sa EOR, syempre na-improve niya yung productivity. Lalo na sa mga fractured reservoir. Okay. So we have different types for horizontal drilling, 3. So the 3 types, we have the long, medium, and the short radii or radius. So we have the long radius. So long radius pertaining to this one. So it is more of pertaining to this one. Yung parang anong term to? Anong displacement to? Horizontal displacement. This is the horizontal displacement. Long radius, we have the medium radius, and we have the short radius. So this is based on this radius. Kaya siya tinawag na radii. So more of plural ng radius. Okay. So in terms of this, what do you call this one?
Check ko lang po schedule.
Anong tawag dun sa 2 degrees to 6 degrees per 100 foot? Anong tawag dun, guys? Sama ko it is connected with sino yun? Sino yung umimik? Ano yun? Sino yun? Sino yung umimik? Narinig ko na yung first word. Are you familiar? Sino yun? Jello. DLS or the dogleg severity. This is the dogleg severity. Di ba kita nyo yung, kaya siya dogleg severity. Kita nyo yung binti ba ang leg? Binti ba ang legs? Legs. Hita pala. Basta yung sa may paanong aso. More of ano siya. Di ba parang pag ano, yun. Di na naman siya nagana. Naghang na naman siya. Saglit. Yeah. Yung dogleg severity, this is pertaining to the inclination, somehow related with inclination. However, it's measured per 100 foot. So, yun pong kanyang unit is, kakaiba yung unit niya, that's degree per 100 foot. Kasi in, literally you can have it as degree per foot. Pero, ang ginagamit nating unit for it is degree per 100 foot sa DLS or the dogleg severity. Okay, next we have the ERD or the extended reach drilling well. I'll be writing it para maano. We have the extended reach drilling or extended reach well or extended drilling well. The ERD well. In terms of ERD, ERD daw po, in this well, departure of the well is twice or more the TVD. So as you can see, medyo mas mahaba yung kanyang so it is, if you classify it dito sa horizontal drilling, more of ano siya, mahaba yung radius niya or yung horizontal displacement. No? Kaya siya tinawag, mas mahaba siya compared doon sa kanyang vertical section. Kaya siya tinawag na extended reach drilling. So this is somehow applied. Yung isang application niya is, let's say, yung ating formation or yung target natin is somewhere deep in the ocean, but you can't afford to have an offshore drilling. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng onshore drilling. However, we used ERD in order for us to access the target location. No. So, kumbaga nasa island siya. As let's say, medyo malalim na yung part ng let's say this is our reservoir. So, sa halip na tayo ay magkaroon ng offshore drilling directly above it, we use or we apply onshore drilling. However, we apply the technique of extended reach well or extended reach drilling. So, in terms of the cost, syempre, magkakaroon tayo dyan ng feasibility study kung ano yung magiging mas viable or economically viable between the two scenario. Is it the onshore or is it the offshore? Di siya question ha, it's more of a rhetorical question. Kung ano yung mas viable. So, yeah. So, may kinalaman pa din siya with the economic side. So, yung ERD, in terms of the ERD, or the first ERD, or yung pinakamahabang ERD, are you familiar with the Sakhalin Island? Gamitin ko ring writing pad. Sakhalin Island in Russia. So, in Sakhalin Island in Russia, this is where yung world's longest ERD well has been drilled last 2013. Okay? So, that is in Russia. An island in Russia. Okay? So, in terms naman of multilateral, may multilateral yan. Mamaya. Mamaya ko siya sabihin. Ano? So, yung first control directional well naman po was done in 1930s. So in 1930s, it is done in a beach in California. Are you familiar with Huntington? Huntington Beach in California, USA. So this is where the first controlled directional drilling was done in Huntington. However, yung first directional drill talaga, however it's not controlled, is done naman in I think in Los Angeles City. Literally in the city. Within the city. No. Ayan. So we have the shoreline drilling. So this is one of somehow related with extended reach drilling. However, yung extended reach drilling kasi let's say nandito yung yung ating reservoir. So technically magiging ganito yung tsura ng kanyang pag-drill. Yun. Erase ko nga. Saglit.
Bakit hindi?
Siyempre, pag mas mahaba na nga yung kanya, mali.
Parang first year. Sanay ka na po.
Pag mas mahaba na yung radius or yung kanyang horizontal displacement sa kanyang vertical, so ERD na siya or considered na siya as ERD. So ito yung tsura kapag ERD. Pero pag shoreline drilling, same lang yung niya. Nasa onshore pero nasa offshore yung possible location ng hydrocarbons. Okay. So same lang siyang nasa offshore, onshore yung ating well, offshore yung ating target, pero magkaiba yung application. Ito ay shoreline drilling yung nasa picture, then extended reach is ito kapag ganito yung scenario. Next, we have the multilateral well. For multilateral well, multilateral well daw po is defined as a well, isa lang siyang well that has more than one horizontal or near horizontal laterals drilled from a single site. So literal na nagbunga siya sa isang well. Yan yung tsura niya. So at all directions siya, hindi niya 2D lang kasi to eh. Pero at all directions, possible na at all directions. Karoon ng well. Okay, so yung applications po niya, we have first, greater reservoir exposure. Since greater reservoir exposure, it drain more than one reservoir. It exploits irregular reservoir efficiently. Kasi normally, irregular po yung mga reservoir natin in terms of its shape and its location. So, literal na in terms of irregularity or heterogeneity, more of, yun, prevail yung mga ganung types ng reservoir. And it also speed up the reservoir drainage. Also, it reduce yung drilling cost per unit of length no ating wellbore contacting the reservoir. In addition to this, it has the ability to obtain a given length of horizontal well in reservoir where drag would perhaps limit the length of single horizontal wellbore. So sa halip nga naman na mag-drill tayo ng maraming well, so isang well na lang siya na nag-route into different locations. Okay. Kasi kapag nag-drill pa tayo ng another well, so in terms of the scale ng environmental impact, tumataas siya. No? So nagiging detrimental na siya within the environment. Next and last is yung reduction daw po in number of slots and thus the number of production platforms. So yun yung sinasabi ko din sa inyo. So in terms of environmental and also yung cost niya. So nakatipid tayo for this particular type of of directional drilling. So for multilateral well, yung um first multilateral well that was drilled was in Russia again. So in Russia ulit siya. So it is in Bashkiria field. Bashkiria ba yung field? Yeah, Bashkiria yung field. And yung kanyang location mismo or yung lugar is in Bashkortostan. Bashkortostan. That's in Republic of Bashkortostan in Russia. So that's the first multilateral well that was drilled in the history of oil and gas. So yung kailan ba yun? If I could remember it right, it was last 1953. Kasi 2013 yung isa eh. Questions po? Questions sa mga nauna natin na-discuss. So take note no yung mga sinusulat kong lugar ha, yung mga first multilateral, first ARD, first controlled directional drilling. Take note of those locations. Okay, next is yung re-entry and multilateral. So for re-entry, literal na nagkaroon tayo ng re-entry. So naging multilateral siya. No. So ito naman ay self-explanatory. Okay. Do you have any questions with regards to what we have discussed? About overview or concepts about multilateral directional drilling. Actually, there is another PowerPoint. Some of the contents are already here, but some are not. So I'll be sharing it to you again. Let me just reshare my screen for a while. Baka naka-open ang camera. Okay. So this is another PowerPoint presentation that deals with directional drilling. Okay. So some of the contents were already mentioned or were already discussed on the previous PowerPoint. So I will be skipping those parts that were already discussed. Just like this one. Yeah. So we have non-petroleum applications for drilling or directional drilling. So we have first the mining industry, construction industry, and last is yung ating geothermal engineering. So in the Philippines, it is yung geothermal engineering or the geothermal industry is very prominent. We have there in Albay or in Bicol region. We also have in, if I'm not mistaken, meron din sa within the Pinatubo vicinity. And yung sa Canlaon. So yun ang SAM. And also dito sa yung pinakamalapit din sa May Laguna. If you're familiar with Maibarara, the geothermal plant there. So, yeah. Sa tingin nyo, yung sa Maibarara, nag-apply ba sila ng multilateral well? Siguro let's have it based on facts. Let's base it on facts. Kung ano yung sa tingin nyo yung Maibarara applied multilateral? Nag-a-apply ba siya ng multilateral well? Multilateral. Directional well. So most probably kasi yung target nila kasi is within or beneath the makiling. Kaya lang naman sa mismong makiling ka magkaroon ng drilling. So technically, nag-a-apply tayo ng directional drilling for such. No. Next. Actually, ito yung na-discuss na din natin. So, skip na natin siya. Yeah, discuss na din natin. And ito yung mga another photo or bagong photo. Discuss na.
Hindi nila
Same lang naman doon sa re-entry. Okay. For mining industry, meron pala dito mga definition for each. For mining, syempre used to produce methane gas that is contained in coal seam. No? So, minamine naman is more of yung mga coals o yung mga methane gas. So, yan yung ginagamit to generate electricity din. So, ginagamit or ina-apply din ng directional drilling for such. Next, for construction industry. So, ano niya gamit? Let's say this one. You want to have a pipeline that will cross a river. However, you don't want to disturb yung ecology mismo ng river. So, you just have to drill directionally. So, this is yung isang example niya. Then we also have the geothermal. So, for the geothermal naman, yeah, extracting heat, more of from the aquifer. In terms of the aquifer, mataas yung temperature niya, then yun yung ina-extract nila. Then pinapump back ulit or ini-inject ulit pabalik. Siyempre, nag-lose na siya ng energy. Na-extract na natin yung energy from yung hot or yung hot water or yung steam. Siyempre, ini-inject back ulit natin siya once it is cold in order for it to again sustain its original energy that based on how we extract it. So, yan. Ito yung example ng sa geothermal. Let's say, limited lang yung space natin for our location. So, dito lang siya within this one. So, yung production well for the geothermal well. So, nandito siya, vertical siya. Then, for the injection well, syempre, ilalayo mo yan. Kasi kapag yan inilapit mo, ang tendency is, magkakaroon na interference between the two wells which causes its production and which can be syempre kung imagine niyo na lang yung principle na let's say vertical din parehas yan. Imagine nyo, itong isa ay nahigop, yung isa ay nabuga. So magkakaroon siya ng, it can damage kasi this portion here is subjected to a large differential in pressure. Okay? Okay. So we define daw po yung depth. Diyan na-define na naman natin yan. Lahat yan. Same lang. Okay. Let's proceed with these quadrants. No? So we have quadrants or yung azimuth reference or more of a measurement of azimuth. So how can we measure the azimuth? So let's say yung quadrant daw po is given natin. Let's say yung given po natin is north. Wala pa lang pang sulat. I-reshare ko ulit. Yes. Hindi ko pa pala na for a while. Lahat naman ito ay nasa inyo. Okay. So let's say we have here example. So let's say yung ating given for the angle is north 35E. So pag ganyan, yung azimuth po niya is literally yung XX or yung mismong 35 degrees. How about naman, let's say, south 35E naman. Pag south 35E, hindi na siya magiging 35. However, it would become 180 minus 35. So 180 minus 35, that's 145, tama? 145 siya. So bakit siya ganyan? Let's have it in x and y coordinate. So this is north, this is east, this is yes po. Ay, hindi pala ako naka-share screen. Sorry. Ulit from the top. So we have here n XX35 NXXE. So yung NXXE, let's say N35E. So matik yung azimuth measurement niya X35 from XX, yung mismong value niya. Kapag S35E naman, so that's S35, yung formula for SXXE is 180 minus XX or 180 minus 35. That's 145. So bakit siya naging ganyan? Let's prove it using this coordinate plane. So we have the north, east, west, and south. So yung pag-measure niya, that's N35E. So from N, we measure 35 degrees E. So that's 35 degrees. So technically, its azimuth from the true north is literally 35. Nakukuha? Nakukuha po. Okay, for the next one, we have here S35E. So S35E, it's S. You measure 35 degrees from S, papuntang east. The direction is going to the east, kaya ganyan. So it's 35. Di ba ang azimuth niya is pertaining to from the true north clockwise. So yeah, this is the azimuth. And using the formula, that's 180 minus 35, which is 145. Technically, this is 145 degrees. Nakukuha. Nakukuha po iyon. How about yung iba? Sure, ha? Okay. Next, another example. Let's have S. Yan, naghang na naman siya. No, sorry. Let's say S. Kaya ganun siya. We have S35W naman. So that's technically S, tapos 35 degrees, papunta naman sa direction ng west. So this is this one. Kaya ang formula niya is 180 plus yung value. So that's 180 up to the south, tapos plus kung ano yung value niya, 35. Kaya siya magiging 180 plus 35 or 215. 215 ba? Yeah, 215. Nagigets po. So doon naman sa NXXW, so let's say N35W, so that's 35 degrees from N papuntang west, from north papuntang west. So that's technically 360 minus 35. 360 minus 35, that is 325. So ito siya. Ito yung tinutukoy niyang azimuth. Nagigets po. So that's azimuth by definition is its measurement of angle from the true north measured clockwise. Nagigets po. Nagigets po. Yung sa azimuth. Sure, ha? So yan, ito yung examples natin. So we have here and another examples. N40E. So that's literally 40 kasi this is pertaining to this one. To this portion here. Okay. Next we have S. That's 40E. So ito siya. Ito siya. So that's technically 90 plus 50. Kasi 50 yung tira from 90, diba? So that's 90 plus 50, that's 140. Kaya naging 140 po yung ating azimuth dito. Nagigets naman ano, madali lang naman siya intindihin. Ito kasing in 40E, if you could remember in physics, that's 40 degrees east of north. S 40E naman is 40 degrees east of south. So yun po yung meaning niya. Okay? And 40E, that's 40 degrees east ng south. East ng north, I mean. So that is pertaining to this angle here. Okay? Nagets po yung sa azimuth natin. Kasi yung proceeding is naulit na. Same lang yung mga types. May questions for this one? May questions po before we proceed doon sa una nating computation. So I'll be explaining to you the first part of the computation. Para by next meeting, we'll be discussing the rest of the computation. Or kung di siya umabot ng isang meeting, meron naman po tayong makeup class by ano nga, Wednesday. May questions po with regards to the discussion for concepts and azimuth calculations. Questions? Guys, do you have any questions po? Sure. Uy, wala nasagot. Wala na naka-open cam si Shelo na lang at si ano, si Richmond na wala namang muka. Pa-open muna ako ng cameras niya before tayo proceed with the next and last. Ito yun. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll be resharing my screen. Let's put it back dito sa ating module para mas madali niya siya mag-gets. Close ko ngayon iba munang nakabukas na lilito sa pag... Okay. Visible na ating sharing ng screen. Okay, we have here example. This is just basic ano lang siya. Geometry. So we have the coordinates of a point in a well bore wherein yung initial... Sino gayon? Si Prince, your mic is on. Okay na yun. Baka mapansin ni ano. Sorry. So we have a coordinate. Initially, yung kanya x, y, and z coordinate. So we're pertaining to three-dimensional coordinates here. So we consider yung depth niya. So sa halip na north and east lang siya or yung mismong, let's say this is a top view of our reservoir. Top view ha. So syempre yung ating borehole is yan, nandiyan. So if we are talking about the x and y, so technically that's the x and y from this coordinate plane. But when we say of the depth, when we have its front view naman, so yun yung lalim niya. Nagigets nyo ga? So itong north is more of, mahirap kasi siya explain sa online. So dapat sa face-to-face, mas magigets nyo siya. 3D kasi siya. So we have yung x natin, from the point 1 is pertaining to 1,000 feet going to the east. So that's going to the right. So it's pertaining to this one. Tapos yung y niya, or the north thing, is 2,000. So that's here. So positive po siya. Ibig sabihin, pag positive, that's easting. For x is easting, for y is northing. Kung negative, for x is westing, for y is southing. Nagagets nyo po? Nagagets, positive po kasi siya. So sa depth, yung depth naman natin, positive naman po siya lagi. Kasi siya ay depth. So, kapag nag-negative yan, syempre, let's say siguro siya ay nasa bundok, ano. So ito yung ating baseline. Nandito siya sa negative indicates ano, height, hindi na siya depth, height na siya. Nagigets po. Okay, at this point, yung sa ating station, a well-bore survey daw po shows an inclination of 15 degrees from the vertical and direction is 45 degrees east of north. The measured distance between this station is and the next is 300 feet and the coordinates daw po of ano is given by this one. At point 2, ito yung mga given natin ha at the first station. At point 2, it is given that the inclination or the second inclination is 25 degrees and our azimuth is 65 degrees. Okay? So this 300 feet that was given here is from point 1 to point 2. Kaya siya L12. Hindi siya L12 ha. L12. So that's pertaining to the length from the two stations or from the 2 points. Okay? So for the solution, we find first the average of the inclination and the average of the azimuth. Average of, syempre average, you just add the 2 and divide it by 2. Okay? So nakuha na the average for the inclination, it's 20. For the azimuth, it's 55. Clear po yon? Clear pa? Okay. For H, this H is pertaining to the length, diba, we have the length late earlier. So that's yung formula po niya or H from 1 to 2 is this one. L, yung length ng 1 to 2 or yung length from point 1 to point 2, multiply it with the sign of the inclination average. So that's 300 sine 20. So ano yung value nito in 4 decimal places? Kindly type sa ating chat box. Or you can open naman your mic to say the answer. I think that's not exactly 103 since we are pertaining to sine of non-special angles. 102.6. 6 ano yun? 606. 606 ba, Jello? 606. 0 or in feet. Next, in terms of easting or the differential in easting, so that's the difference in terms of from point 2 to from point 1 to point 2 rather. Okay, so para natin makompute yan, we use H, yung nakompute natin H12, then we multiply it with the sign of its azimuth average. So that's 102.606 sine 55. Let's use 102 here. 102.606 sine 55. Ano yung magiging sagot? In 4 decimal places. Hindi na siya magiging exact 84. 84.0499. That's 84.
75 be.
Next, for the differential naman po of the y component, or that's the northing, or differential of n, so we will be using again h12, yung nakumpute natin h12, pero we'll be using cosine of the azimuth. Okay, so that's 102.606 cosine of 55. Anong sagot natin dito? Anong sagot? 58.8524. How about yung last? So that's pertaining to the change in depth. $300, that's just L12 cosine the inclination average. 281.90. 77 feet. So we have computed all the changes. So that's not yet the final answer for us to box. Kasi these are just all the changes. Initially, its location was given as 1,000 for its x coordinate, 2,000 for its y coordinate, and 3,000 for its z coordinate. So we just need to add the changes in each coordinate. So adding the changes, we will result for x is yung atin pong x sub 2 is 1,084 feet. For y is 2,059 feet. And for z is 3,282 feet. Ibig sabihin lang na yan, itong change in east, so nag-move po siya papuntang east ng 84 feet, papunta namang north ng 59 feet, and mas lumalim po siya ng 282 feet. Ibig sabihin, mas malalim ng 282 feet yung ating point 2. Okay? So we have we have computed for each component ng ating station 2 or point 2. Question. Question po.
Naka-wrist lanyard.
Question. So this is just somehow basic geometry. No. Question po for this one. Nagets na po yun on your end. Yan. So, for our next meeting, we'll be discussing further on the directional drilling calculations. So, yan. I'll be showing you some of which. Yan. Then we'll be discussing some wellbore survey calculations. So, we have different methods. I'll be introducing it to you na para hindi na kayo magulat for the next discussion. So, we have different surveying methods. We have 5, if I'm mistaken. Those are 5. Saan yung one? First one is the average angle method. The second one is the balanced tangential method. The third one is the minimum curvature method. The fourth one is tangential method. And ito pa lang fourth, yung radius of curvature. Tapos ang fifth ay yung tangential method. So, yun, those are the 5 wellbore surveying methods. I hope we discussed this all by the next meeting. For O2 next is tomorrow. For O3, O1 is by next Wednesday sa makeup class. So, siguro aabot kaya to. Kasi meron pa tayong torque and drag calculations. I think that's the last part, yeah. For, before yung wellbore ay meron pang itong sa mga type 2 at type 1 calculations nito. Do you have any questions? Questions po. Okay, I assume you don't have any question. So, wala na question ha. With regards to, I'll be announcing something. So, announce ko na siya sa OWA. Aware na ba ang O2 na by this week yung ating presentation? By this week, yung presentation ng final project. Kasi it's already, if I'm not mistaken, I have already mentioned to you it last time. Week 15 yung start ng presentation. Diga. And I assume, or we presume, since yung ating meeting for O2 ay today and tomorrow lang, and by Wednesday, hingin ko lang kay Jello yung yung available schedule niya by Thursday and Friday. So we'll have a face-to-face presentation by Wednesday and Friday. Yung kasi, we have scheduled with O1. I-check ko if you're available sa schedule ng O1 para paghalinhinan ko na lang kayo by those schedules. Available ba kayo ng oras ng O1 sa Thursday? 5:30 to 7. Parang available naman ng O1 ng 5 to 7. So mga 5 to 7. So I'll be specifying in terms of the presentation, strictly is you follow the approach of Pecha Kucha. Are you familiar with Pecha Kucha? Familiar ka sa Pecha Kucha? Yung approach na yan. So you just need to follow that approach para ma-minimize or ma-maximize pala. Ma-maximize natin yung time or yung time natin for the presentation. So literal na siya. More of direct to the point yung kung ano yung problema ng borehole. I just need to have you just need to explain that. You just need to give an overview. So slight overview lang siya. So siguro one slide for the overview is enough. Sa Pecha Kucha kasi you follow 20 seconds per slide. Tas 20 slides ata yun. If I could remember it right. No, so 20 seconds per slide, 20 slides. So just kumbaga direct to the point, wala nang wala nang pasikot-sikot. No, so yun. Do you have any question with regards sa ating magiging presentation by this week? I hope by this week matapos natin siya para by next week we'll have our quizzes. And kung hindi naman matapos, meron naman tayong face-to-face meeting sa next week, no? No. So, yung quiz ay i-adjust na lang ulit natin if anong araw maging available. Most probably, ang mangyari is ganun ulit, sabay ulit ang O1, O2 ng Thursday next week, if ever. Question. Kasi week 16 na next week, tapos by the next week ng week 16 ay finals na. Questions po. Yes, Jel.
Sir, yung sinabi niyo pong 5:30 to 7 ng O1, sabay po kami doon or before po?
Ano yun? Sa quiz or sa presentation?
Present.
If pwede. If wala kayong schedule by that time.
Sa Thursday po ang last class po namin. Something went wrong. Alas 2 po.
Sige, yung pwede naman. Or siguro, hindi, may klase kasi ako sa QQ nun before nung time na yun. Tapos face to face yun. Kaya 5:30 to 7 talaga strictly. Kasi may klase ako ng QQ nun. Quiz nila. By this week. Pero next week, baka wala na. So, na siya. Kaya tayo mag-quiz ng sabay. Pero quiz, okay lang sa inyo. Thursday. By next week. Next week, I mean. Next week. Yeah, next week. Yan, may questions pa po? Clear na po sa lahat yung ating plan for the rest ng requirements to be completed. So yun, ang kukomplete lang natin is yung ating presentation for the final requirement. Then we also have quiz. Actually, I'm planning to have some presentation, siguro volunteer na lang. So during our online class na lang din. Presentation ng yung anong tawag yung ating narrative report, individual yun. So siguro by next meeting, pili na lang ako ng kung sino mag-volunteer na dalawa. So I'll be having additional points. Let's say, halimbawa, 92 yung grade mo sa akin in terms of the narrative mismo. So, I'll be giving you additional 5 points. So, maging 97. Kasi you volunteered 2%. Kasi individual naman yung digyo. Gets nyo po? Okay. Ano yun, Russell? You raised your hand.
Wala po, sir.
Ito lang, ito.
Yung iba po, may question. Yes, Jello.
Sir, tama po ba yung sabi niyo na bukas po or next meeting within the week yung presentation po ng narrative report?
Bukas, kasi yung deadline niya naman, kailan ba deadline?
28 pa po sa G-Classroom.
28 pa naman, pero may mga nakapagpasa na, di kung sino mga gusto mag-volunteer doon sa mga tapos na. Hindi ko naman nire-require lahat na tapos na agad, kasi yung deadline niya is 28. Pero by 26, may meeting, kailan bang ating makeup class? Sa O1, sa O2 ay 7 to 12 ng Wednesday. Tama? Sa
Tama po.
O1 naman ay sa O1. Thursday pa pala ang sa O1 na umaga. 9 to 10:30 ng Thursday. That's 9 to 10:30 Thursday. Tapos sa hapon ay quiz. Ay, quiz. Presentation pala. Sa hapon, mga 5:30. May questions pa po? So I can dismiss you. Yes, Shelo.
Sir, question lang po dun sa PSET. Need po ba i-drawing yung nandun sa chapter test po?
Hindi naman. Pero yung sa directional drilling ba yung tinutukoy mo? Na part?
Sir, yung chapter 5 lang naman po na
Sa
yung sa
17?
volume calculation.
Alin ba yung may drawing?
Number 5.
Saglit, tingnan ko kung anong drawing. Yung sa directional, kailangan nyo siya yung pero yung sa, wait, double check.
Tapos sir, pwede po pa send po ng malinaw po na picture nung sa directional drilling po. Hindi lang po
Sige.
yung sa values po.
Sige. Ano yung part? Yung values ng sa
Tapos
figure.
yung sa 4 po. 13,000 po ba yun?
Wait, i-verify ko muna. Nasaan yung aking manual pa? Saglit. End of chapter. Wala ka. For a while, wait lang. Yun sa number 5. Ang gawin nyo lang ay I suggest i-print nyo na lang. Tapos idikit nyo lang sa PSET. Kung gusto niyo, kung kaya nyo naman i-drawing nyo na lang. Pero required na may picture yan kasi some of the yun nandiyan. Kung mapapansin nyo dyan, nag-iba yung value if I'm not mistaken. Tapos may mga values na parang nawala. Kasi yan ay makukompute nyo dyan, based dyan. Kasi yung ibang values ay overkill na maibigay. Kasi redundant siya. Pero nakukuha yan. Baka kasi magtaka kayo ba't nawala yung ibang values. Yung mga top of the cement, bottom of the cement, top of lead. Yun. Tapos, dini sa deviation naman. Alin ba yung malabo? Number
Sir, hindi naman po malabo. Hindi lang po maintindihan. Ayan, sir. 8 po. Yan.
13.
13,000 po. Ayan.
13,000.
Apply po. Thank you po.
Ito ay 4,700. Ito ay 12,750 feet. Okay na po.
Sir, kailan po deadline yan?
Ang PSET ay sa week ano na lang. Week 17, midterm exam. Finals exam. Para by week 18 ay removals na lang ating atupagit.
Sir, di po ba week 18 yung ating schedule ng finals?
Ang alam ko 17. Kailan na final? 17, 18. 17 daw ang final.
Sir, hindi na po ba mangyayari yung last
Na 2 weeks.
po na 2 weeks?
Hindi na daw kasi may sadyang mountain na nagpa-finals eh. Kaya parang sasakto na siya sa 1 week. May iba kasing mga subjects na hindi na nagpa-finals. Sadya. Tayo kasi may finals. Sadya sa syllabus. So, susundin natin siya. But I'll be, based on the presentation, siguro magkakaroon ng exemption sa finals kung masatisfy. 1 group per each section. Depende pa. Kung may group na mag-surpass ng aking expectation. In terms of the, kung paano mag-present and paano i-analyze or study yung mismong, ano yun, Shiloh?
Sir, last na po. Bale, dun po sa presentation sa Thursday at Friday, ano po yun? Like, sunod-sunod po or may... Sino po yung mauuna ganun po?
Ang gagawin ko is, yung sa Friday, kaya ba, schedule natin yung Friday. Saglit.
Sir, bakit
I-settle natin pala ngayon para nandito to kayo parehas. Saglit lang ha. Para aware na din tayo. May klase kang O1 after. Hanggang 1 pa naman kayo available.
Opo.
Kami naman ay hanggang 1 din ang O2. Okay. So by 8:30 to 10:30. Conflict pa rin ba kayo, Chelo, sa well test ng 10 to 10:30?
Yes po, 10 po ang start namin.
8:30 to 10, may klase kayo ng Friday? O2? Nasin ko pala siya. Ilipat ko pala share. 8:30 to 10.
Wala po.
Aray. Hanap lang tayo ng room if tanong ko din sa Sir Andrew if pwede tayo makigamit ng anong tawag doon? Yung room doon, consultation na if possible. Din sa sa time slot na to. Kasi ito naman, madami na namang rooms ng gantong oras, ng 5:30 onwards. So, hindi na siya magiging problema. Ito, ang problema natin ay itong Friday. I'll be asking sa Andrew if possible tayo sa console by that time. Or kung may nakaschedule, edi hanap na tayo ibang room. That's 1.5. So, that's 90 minutes. Ilan nga ang sa Pecha Kucha? Wait lang, saglit. Siya ay 6 minutes. Siguro maximum na ang 12 minutes per group. Tama ba? 7 minutes na yung presentation kasi 6 minutes and 40. Tapos Q&A na siguro 10 minutes. 15 minutes siguro kasya na sa isang group. 90 divide 15. 6. So, 6 group lang. Ilang groups ang O1? Chelo?
8 po.
Ang O2.
So, i-check ko po.
6 po, sir.
6 ang O2. 6 ang O2. Siguro dalawang O2. Dalawang O2 sa ano. Kasi magkakasobra na dalawang group, diga. So, yung dalawang O2 matitira ay next week. Kasi may klase naman tayo ng before mag-quiz or after ng quiz. Kaso, kawawa naman yung group na matitira. Paano kaya yun? Sige, hanap na lang tayo ng room na ano. Pwede naman siguro mag-overtime ang O2, di nga? Ng Friday, tama? Anong oras sunod yung klase sa Friday? 11 pa.
11:30 po.
Yun, pwede naman siguro mag-overtime. So, abot pala. Bale, mangyayari ay 15 minutes per group. So, 6 minutes and 40 seconds for the presentation. Tas the rest of, from the 15 minutes ay, pag dito, question and answer.
Sir, bali
Tapos,
sa Thursday ay 4 po from O1.
hindi, wait lang. Hindi 4. Tig 3 pa rin. Tig 3 O1 O2. Hindi, 4 nga. Siguro. Sige, 4. Gusto niyo yung di ko na siya ngayon gagawin ng live sa inyo. Pero ruruleta na lang ako ng sunod-sunod. Papisasan ko na lang result sa GC nating 3, Jello, Chelo. Or 6. Diretso ko na din sa GC. Bale, 3 O1. Ang O2 guy may G-sheet. Jello. Parang hindi ko pa nakikita. Send mo na ulit sa akin o sa GC ng 3 O1. Deb, ako nang bahala kung kung ilan yung ma-assign ng ganun. May questions pa basta by Thursday 6 na groups. Tapos by Friday ay 8. Okay? Yes, Shell.
Sir, last na po. Kapag po ba na-schedule yung group ng Friday, is it okay po na hindi na pumasok ng Thursday
Okay.
or hindi na po siya?
Kung saan lang kayo assign na pumasok. May questions pa? Yes, Ras.
Sir, sa paper po, kailangan pa po ba ng table of contents po or
Mas
yun na lang?
formal if meron.
Okay
Mas
po.
ayos.
Tapos po,
Para
front page
hindi
din
mahirapan.
po.
Para hindi mahirapan maghanap pag ako.
Sir, long band nga po, then Times New Roman 12 po ba?
Long band, Times New Roman, double spacing. Di sinabi naman ako, digo. Parang may sinabi ako.
Okay po, sige po.
Double spacing, 1-inch margin. Yun. Tapos naka-header. Lagyan nyo na header ng BSU. Baka kasi magmukhang yan, senior high project. Questions pag. Hindi na kasi aking schedule. Baka ako inyong ambushin. Ano yun, Jel?
Clarify ko lang po yung bale, 15 minutes per group nga po, 6 minutes and 50 seconds for presentation, the rest ay Q&A po. Sa Thursday po, hindi pa po final kung ilan po yung sa O1 tsaka sa O2.
Pero 6. total.
Tapos sa Friday po ay 8.
Ah,
Kailan,
8.
within the day po kayo mag-release nung kung tig-ilan po, tapos kung ano yung sequence po, ano?
Ngayon, gagawin ko siya after meeting.
Okay po. Noted po.
May questions pa? Para I can dismiss yun na. Baka magagawa din ng ano, paper kayo. If wala na kayong question, yeah, I think that's it for our discussion. Sana ay, sige Jules, tingnan ko mamaya. Ay, ano, sana i-gets na yung ating timeline for the rest of the semester. Bakit nakasad si Gerald? Yun, if wala na kayong question, that would be it. Thank you for attending our class. See you all
Thank you po.
next meeting tomorrow at sa Wednesday.
Thank you po.